Hi there everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make some really delicious fresh green beans. These green beans are really easy to make, but there's a process in which you cook them so that they stay cooked but green. Sometimes you'll go places or you'll see green beans that are overcooked. Well, when you're making fresh green beans, you want to have them fresh. If you're going to have canned green beans, that's another story. They're not going to be real green. But if you want fresh green beans, this is a really easy recipe. It's an easy way to do it so they stay fresh and green. And these are absolutely delicious with bacon and onions. So it's a real simple way to make them. It's not difficult. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. So after you rinse your green beans, you're going to take and cut off the ends. What you can do to make it go faster is you can take like a group and line them up and just cut the very ends off of them. Kind of like this. There, and then just separate your beans. So again, you want to line them up as many as you can get together, and you're going to just kind of even them out here and then just cut off the ends just like that, and then separate them. And once you get all your beans cleaned and cut, then you can get your onion and bacon ready. So I use probably about a half of an onion chopped up. It depends on how many green beans. And then I have really thick bacon here, so I'm going to slice this up real fine. If I had thinner bacon, I would probably do 3 or 4 pieces. And like I said, it depends on how much bacon and onion. So these are all your items that you're going to have to make your green beans with bacon and onions. They're delicious. So you're just going to have green beans cut up. You're going to have a couple of slices of bacon diced up, and probably a third or half of an onion, depending, like I said, on how much you're making. So now we're going to go over to the stove. You're going to bring a pot of water, depending on how many green beans, how large your pot's going to be, but you're going to put some salt. You want to salt your water and boil it. So here we've reached a rolling boil, and now we want to add our green beans in. And we do want to bring this back up to a boil. And we're going to caulk the lid, and we want these to cook 7 or 8 minutes because we do want them fully cooked, but we are going to put them in ice afterwards to stop the cooking. We want them fully cooked, but we don't want them to overcook afterwards. So here's our boil. Now we're going to turn it down to a medium high and put the lid partially on and set the timer for about 7 minutes. Okay, these cook 7 minutes. I just turned the stove off, and now I'm going to remove them from the pot and put them in ice. So here's our green beans. I'm going to put them over ice. I just have a couple of chunks of ice. I don't have any ice cubes. So this isn't blanching. It's kind of like blanching, but blanching is if you were to boil these for just a few minutes and then put ice on it to stop the cooking. I cook these fully 7 minutes, and I want to stop the cooking because I want them to stay nice and green. That's the purpose of doing this. Okay, the last step is we're going to cook this bacon until it's fairly crisp. And well, I'm going to cook this about halfway through, and then I'm going to add the chopped onions in it, and we're going to cook them together till they're kind of caramelized a little. So the bacon is releasing some of its fat. That's what we want. We want some grease from the bacon. So at this point, right about halfway, we're going to add our chopped onions. Now we're going to stir all of that together until it caramelizes. Probably about 5 minutes. This is right about how you want your bacon and your onions, just like this. And now you're going to add your green beans back in, and see, they're still nice and green and pretty. That's because we put ice on them to prevent them from cooking anymore. Because food can cook even if it's been taken off the stove. The heat remains in it. So now we're going to stir this together. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some salt, and you want to just do salt and pepper to taste. So that's probably about right because we do have the bacon that's salty. And then we're going to add some pepper. And after you season your green beans, then you're just going to mix everything together just like this. And it's done. The green beans are done and the bacon and onions are. So we're just going to put it together, mix it all together, and serve. Doesn't that look wonderful? Let's give them a try. They're really perfect. I've already tasted one. They're smooth. You bite into it and they're not mushy and they're not hard. They're just right. That's why this process of cooking green beans is just the right way to do it, because you boil them on a medium high about 7 minutes and they're done, and then you put them in an ice bath and it prevents them from cooking more or fading, and so they're still green and fresh. And then when you put them back in, the bacon and onions, it gives them so much flavor. These are very, very fresh and flavorful. I think you ought to give these a try. I think you'll really enjoy these green beans. Thank you.